We're on a sunny Friday. In front of the Young and Dundas Cineplex Theater.
Over there.
Very busy around here. Hopefully you can hear us. We're still using my phone as a mic.
That's new.
This is Jake and Jacob.
And I'm Jacob.
And we're going to go see Incredibles Deuce.
The Incredibly.
Right. So let's go.
We need to change people's perceptions about superheroes, and Elastigirl is our best play.
Better than me?
Movie review.
We just finished seeing Incredibles 2. To be honest, I saw the first Incredibles a very long time ago, like probably when it first came out, and I haven't watched it again since. And everyone's always going on about it, like it's like one of the greatest Pixar movies. And I'm a big fan of everything Pixar does except for Cars. And I honestly don't have fond memories of Incredibles. I don't remember it being bad, but I don't remember being blown away by it, to be honest. I think I need to rewatch it. But anyways, going into this, I kind of knew it was like hyped up and all that stuff. And I liked it. I liked it a lot. I like the aesthetic of the Incredibles. I like kind of takes place in this weird 50s / its own kind of universe thing, and all the characters and all that. I don't know. I have a lot to say about it. You speak first, because you're more familiar with Incredibles.
Incredibles 2, before I get into the actual movie, Incredibles 1 is personally my favorite Incredibles movie. And I think when you...
Your favorite Incredibles movie?
Yeah, it's my favorite Incredibles movie.
What an idiot!
It's my favorite Pixar movie.
Oh.
And I know that's like one of the great thing about Pixar is you can really pick any movie besides Cars and say it's your favorite movie, and people will be like,
no one will argue with it, whether it's Toy Story, WALL-E, Up, or whatever.
Yeah, it's just like they're all fantastic films, and it continues the trend with Incredibles 2 that it's another fantastic film, and I'll get into more reasons why. But the other thing is, man, like every time you kind of always overlook sometimes animation. I'm not a big looking at the animation of this film. Of any films, I enjoy animated movies, but I'm not I'm not a technician. I'm not gonna be
there for the story.
Exactly. But man, this film though, is beautiful. There's a lot of detail, there's little pieces of thread sticking out, hair, everything from little stubble here and there. Every little detail stands out from a mile away. Being in the back theater or the front of the theater, you just notice all these little things from lighting to coloring. It is a beautiful, and it's Pixar nonetheless. Pixar, Disney, all those things. They're going to always up their game in animation. So that's flawless. The story. We're seeing now with the Incredibles where they've it's illegal to basically be a superhero, and that idea alone comes off from the first movie, and I actually like that idea, especially in the time of age now that we're always getting new superhero movies. That it's kind of cool that superheroes are banned or legal, so they're gonna have to have mundane lives, and we follow this family that have very mundane lives, but they're kind of itching to do more, and we see that cross over this movie, and the movie picks up right after the first movie with the mole dude coming from the ground. They continue that fight, but you see that as superheroes, and this is one thing that really touches well, as superheroes, even though they're doing the right thing, the government will look and it's no, you know how much this cost us? Did you even catch the guy? Yeah. This is so expensive, and it is they're really realistic, and it's funny they're realistic in a kid's movie, but that's the thing I like about this movie. I really got about the whole thing, and I don't want to spend 20 minutes of your guys' time. Here's the point, is to tell you if I liked it or not liked it. And honestly, the story's really good. I love each character. I think that they did it from Dash to Violet. Violet, they really gave a lot of depth to her character.
Even the baby.
Jack, obviously Jack was almost this silly character, and I was kind of worried he was gonna become almost the baby Groot of this thing, where he's just gonna become a toy, but a little bit, but he was very cute and actually very important to the story. There was a lot of importance to his story of each character kind of finally realizing his powers and the importance of it all to pretty much the whole story. So it mattered to have Jack around. It mattered, and I really like the father, the husband, and the wife. She gets picked to do these missions to bring back superheroes, and he's kind of he becomes a stay-at-home dad, but he's kind of jealous. He's really jealous of his wife, and he's like, but I'm the strong hero. I'm better. He thinks he's better. There's
kind of an ego, right?
Yeah, and it's really this cute dynamic the whole family has. So it's a really, like I said, I want to gush about all of it, but at the end of the day, this is a fantastic, incredible movie with strictly amazing animation, and there's some really good scenes. There's this one girl who has these portal powers, the game Portal. It's her powers basically, and I think there's a really cool where she's kind of learning how to use it, and there's this one sequence where she There's this character, the mom, she's fallen from the sky and she's trying to get her on the plane. That it's really cool looking at that. Like, it's visually really amazing. And that's the cool thing about animation. We can get those scenes without looking cringy if it was live action.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think there's very little bad. I think maybe the villain was a little bit but the story's better than the villain. It was more necessary to see about the family than the villain, but the villain isn't amazing. And sometimes this movie feels sometimes a little too grown up for itself. I understand when kids and adults can both watch this movie, but there's many scenes that kids are gonna be like bored and want to leave the theater, grab some popcorn. Like, it is a little adulty at times, and some scenes stretch on for a little longer. And the first movie has a bit more of an emotional punch versus this movie's not as emotional. So overall, it's a fantastic, incredible movie with some low parts. I want to gush more about it, but I don't want to spoil too much. I think it's a movie you go see.
Yeah, I basically agree with everything you said. Yeah, I mean, it's what you expect. You're going into a Pixar film, you know you're going to get like masterclass like animation, and like you almost always get like great storytelling. And yeah, it's a classic case of like the dad learning to be a stay-at-home dad with 3 kids. The mom can do it, why can't he? But he's the big superhero, and now she's kind of like discovering herself, realizing like, hey, I can kind of do this kind of shit. Like, I like being the hero and all that kind of stuff. But it's like that, but with like a superhero twist. And like when Jack first started using his powers, it's like kind of like parallel to like a baby walking for the first time. It's like, oh, Jack used his first powers, or you took his first step, kind of thing. But yeah, really funny. I enjoyed the movie through the whole thing through. I would say like, yeah, I think it's meant for like all audiences. Like, obviously anyone can relate to it, whether you're a kid or you're an adult. There are definitely some scenes that are like kind of scary, like not like for like an adult, but like maybe for like a young kid. I thought like there were some pretty tense moments, particularly when like Elastigirl or whatever, she's like kind of hunting the villain. Great. It's like I expected nothing less from what it was. If anything, it was lower than my expectations, but that's not saying anything bad about it.
14 years, man. 14 years. I think maybe that's another thing about this movie. 14-year wait. This is probably one of the most wanted sequels in a time that almost no one wants sequels.
Yeah.
It's been always wanted for just film as a whole, not just technically animation. Everyone's wanted Incredibles 2, so you might be a little bit more, especially if you're a super fan, you might be a little bit more technical and break this movie down and have some plot hole issues and break it apart more. But for me, I went in, yeah, I'm a super fan. Like I said, Incredibles is my favorite Pixar movie, but I went in just wanting to love it, and I did love it. It didn't bother me. I was super entertained. Like, there's some lulls. There's maybe the villain there's nowhere as good as the first. Like, Syndrome is in a top 10 villains. Like, he's an amazing movie villain. But overall, like, did I have a good time? Yes. Did I laugh? Yes. Was I amazed by what I saw on screen from start to finish? Yes. Just sometimes a little boring.
I never found it boring at all, to be honest, for myself. Like, there's no boring bits, but I mean, maybe we just have different interests.
That's why we do this. That's why we review things.
What would you give this?
Like I said, it's at my pluses, it's at my minuses. It's not really much. I'm going to give it more pros, but honestly, I think I'm going to give this a 9.
Given everything I've said, I think I'm going to give it a 8.5. Only because I'm a big fan of the other Pixar films, and I'm like ranking them in my head amongst those.
I can think of my top 3, but
What are your top 3?
Incredibles is number 1. It'd probably go. It's hard not to try to confuse Disney. Probably then Toy Story. Toy Story 2 and 3 are great, but Toy Story for sure. Number 3, probably WALL-E then.
Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo's good.
Monsters,
But
Inc.
It doesn't get as good as Monster Inc. That's good. It's good. Okay, let's take away WALL-E and do Monsters Inc.
I'd probably do Toy Story 2, Toy Story 1, and then Toy Story 3. And then all the other ones.
I can't believe you think 2 is better than 1.
What? Yeah, it is. It's still good. Anyways, this has been Jake and Jacob.
And I'm still Jacob.
And we'll see you next time.
Ah, look at that. You made it to the end of the video.
Hey, now that you're here, you can click on one of our older videos.
We've done some reviews on this and that, and I particularly like this.
I like the one on the left, to be honest.
Oh, well, we always got that thing in the middle. It looks pretty cool. It's one of those subscribe buttons.
Anyways, thanks for making it to the end.
Bye-bye.